pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, has council had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes of October 19th? If so, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of October 19th.
I'll second.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Any changes to this evening's agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to put a couple of additions on there. Number 6, I'd like to make a motion to add Kindness Appreciation Week proclamation by the mayor.
Okay.
And then also I would like to make a motion. Let's do that one first, I suppose, huh?
You want to separate them? Yeah. Sure. All right. So we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Robin to add Kindness Appreciation Proclamation. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
And then I'd like to make a motion to add 2 change orders on the construction out at Pebble Creek. That would be going under the committee reports.
How about administrator and staff
Yeah,
reports?
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Okay.
Administrator and staff reports.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Can I now have an approval for the set agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
Second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. All right, Kindness Appreciation Week proclamation. The City of Becker has established Kindness Appreciation Week to be held from November 8th to the 12th in the year 2021. The City of Becker and the Becker School District, along with other community entities, believe in working jointly to create an ideal community to work, live, go to school, and raise a family. And whereas kindness is an attribute that grows within all people, and nurturing kindness within ourselves and modeling kindness to others provides an opportunity to guide and inspire an entire community. And whereas the involved parties believe passionately that happiness is one of the keys to a healthy community, the involved parties believe it is important to emphasize and promote intentional kindness to increase happiness and to create an inclusive, respectful community where all feel welcomed. So now therefore it be resolved, I, Tracy Bertram, Mayor of City of Becker of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim November 8th through the 12th of 2021 as Kindness Appreciation Week, where kindness will be emphasized and recognized across the Becker community. So, and I believe the Becker School District is doing a lot of fun things next week in coherence with that. So stay tuned. All right, guests in open forum. Anyone here for guests in open forum this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Budget and Finance.
Excuse me, Budget and Finance, we met on the 20th of October. We're gonna have a third quarter update from Mark here, so I won't steal all his thunder there. The golf continues to trend very positively. We also had, we looked at the community center memberships. That's something we've been watching. Obviously, those gyms and stuff were really hard hit with the COVID. So we've been monitoring those just to give you an idea how they're bouncing back here. We had dipped to, we were about 800 prior to COVID. We dipped to about 564, which was in about May when everything was really starting to be allowed to open back up. We are back up to about 658, and that's a number as of 10/1. So that continues to trend up. Just one of those things, just gonna have to chip away at it. So, but it is trending in the right direction there. And staff had checked with kind of how like what was the average fall off in memberships compared to you know, like in the industry, and ours was a little bit less than what the industry was, so we're actually, sitting a little better than, like the gym industry, if you wanna say. We talked, every month, we talk about the, short-term grant, or I'm sorry, short-term, funding that we possibly would need for the projects coming up, still sitting okay on that for right now, so, that's just something that's, you know, month to month, we're gonna talk about it, and if it's needed, then, you know, we bring something forward. That was about it.
All right. How about Planning Commission?
I can take that one too. Planning Commission, 2 meetings. The regular meeting was on Monday, the 25th. We had a public hearing on one of the items we have tonight with the Chapter 11 edits. We also have some more edits that are coming up, so we call for another public hearing at our regular meeting, which is November 29th. We also had some discussion on, more discussion on the fence ordinance, and just an update on the, on Sherburne County with the Riverbend property out there, had some discussion on that. We do have one member that is up at his term is up at the end of the year this year, so there will be, we will be accepting applications starting next week sometime. They'll be posted for us, so if anybody is interested in serving on the Planning Commission, be watching for that. And we also had our special, we do the special meeting quick?
Yeah, definitely.
We had our special meeting today at 4:30, and those items are covered under 9 Charlie and 9 Delta tonight.
All right. How about Golf Committee?
Golf Committee, we met October 26th. We went through, you know, some financials. Greg, can you throw up just a kind of a fun little fact sheet of just where our numbers were last year compared to this year? I'm a visualizer, so to me, that's really kind of cool to see. Just on the rounds of golf, that changed.
Actually, 2019 was
Yeah, the
right
main.
before, that was year before COVID.
Wow, that's
So
like,
it's still climbing, which is cool.
that's almost double.
Yeah, it's a big increase. It's unbelievable.
Oh.
Because
Almost
we knew it'd be increased in 2020, but like the fact that it went up again, you know, for 2021, people are getting back into the game. It's kind of cool.
See, it's almost back to where it was in the heyday when, early 90s, when it was really big all over the country.
So that's awesome. So yeah, so there's just kind of a fun little fact sheet for you. We also kind of talked about just where we're at with the simulator construction. We're pretty much on track, even though we've had some change orders. We're still doing good as far as where that needs to be. On this picture you guys see on your screen right now, that is hole number 14's pond. That's just kind of like the lining update that they kind of filled it all in and is getting ready to put the lining in it and move forward with that. We briefly talked about already next year concert at the Creek. It sounds like it's gonna be September 2nd, so it's the Friday of Labor Day weekend.
Ooh.
I know, I'm like,
It's a different approach.
yes,
It'd be feast or famine.
Yeah.
exactly. So, but we're kind of shifting gears a little bit, maybe not making it, like having some food trucks, not doing all the food.
Yeah, the numbers were down substantially,
Yep.
and the bands that we're gonna have.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Fabulous Armadillos, which has a huge following. Obviously, everyone knows them, and it's gonna be featuring Chris Hockey, so he will be back. But just kind of a heads up
And
of
part of the
where.
pitch will be on your way to the cabin, stop in for a concert at the Creek. It's
Right, they're trying to pull more people from the outside communities in with the armadillos and.
because there was only, how many this year, approximately? There was only a couple hundred this
Yeah.
year.
So we're just kind of trying to decide, do we want to make it just a Becker thing? Do we want to make it a bigger?
So this would be an attempt to get the numbers back up to where it was originally.
But I thought the food truck idea was kind of a good idea, just have different vendors and instead of,
Yeah, it's a busy weekend already.
I know. So we'll see if that date's permanent or not.
I think the date is subject to change, but that's what Josh is leaning toward right now.
Okay. All right.
That's it with golf committee.
How about joint planning?
Joint planning, we met on October 26th. We had a preliminary and final plat application for the new G&M outdoor location. We had a conditional use permit application, rezoning ordinance, boundary adjustment, and 2 variance applications. It was busy, but it was quick.
Yeah, it was. All right, any other committees? None? We will move on to board, committee, and consultant reports. Here we go. Third quarter financials for 2021 with Mr. Ebensteiner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Here to give a quick update on the third quarter financials. As Rick had mentioned, or Councilmember Hendrickson, we had reviewed the September financials at the October 20th Budget and Finance meeting. I'll just cover a couple highlights and I can answer any questions as well. Starting with the general fund on the revenue side, for 2021, we're slightly below budget. 2020 had some one-time revenues. CARES funding was primarily came in 2020, so we're slightly lower than budget, but in line with expectations. The community center revenues are up 16% year over year. Year-to-date expenditures do exceed revenues by around $112,000. We will have the second half of the tax levy coming in, so that'll offset a good portion of that. And then on the golf side, revenues are $535,000 higher compared to last year, with revenues exceeding expenditures by $374,000. So this was the end of September, so we still had all of October that also saw some great results as well. So in line with some of those cash projections that we have discussed in the past here. On the expenditure side, general fund, lower than budget status, right around 69%. You know, we're 3/4 of the way through the year in September, so we'd expect them to be right around 75. So we have had some cost containment just within the budget, and then specifically on the community center side, we have had some good cost containment there to offset some of those decreases in memberships. And then golf expenditures increased 358 year over year, 358,000, about 21%, but that does correlate with the increase in revenues of about 28%. So right in line with some of those round numbers, number of rounds that Becky had discussed. The water fund on the enterprise side, revenues remain strong, about 4.6% higher than year-to-date 2020, about 91% of budget, so great there. And then on the domestic sewer and industrial, tracking slightly under budget, but right in line on the expenditure side. So with that, answer any questions, but that's the third quarter financials.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Proposed City Code, Chapter 11, our favorite chapter here at council. Ms. Flipson.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight should be a short and quick one. So back in October, City Council did approve changes to Chapter 6. So it was in regard to adult entertainment establishments. So tonight, this would be a proposal to update Chapter 11 to just match the language from Chapter 6. So we're labeling the businesses in the same manner for consistency. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, a motion and second to approve Ordinance 246 second series would be appreciated.
I'll make a motion to approve Ordinance 246 second series and ordinance amending City of Becker Chapter 11 Sections 11.50 Subdivision 3.
I'll second.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Then I'll make a motion to approve Ordinance 246 second series summary for publication purposes.
I'll second that too.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any discussion on the summary? None, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Proposed easement vacation. Ms. Flipson.
Thank you. So tonight, the next two items are related to each other. So the first item here is the easement vacation. So in the next item, you will be seeing a prelim and final plat. So what the request is to take 3 of the lots within the industrial park and combine them into one. So on the 2 property lines, there will be some easements that are currently there. We're asking to vacate those, so when the properties become one, you don't have easements running through the center of a property. So tonight before you is Resolution 2185. We are requesting approval of that resolution that would vacate those easements that will be part of that assumed property, so we don't have it kind of divvied up across that property. If there's any questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, a motion and second would be appreciated.
If there's no questions, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2185.
Second?
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Preliminary and final plat applications for Energy Park 8th Edition. Ms. Flipson.
Thank you. So last but not least, we do have two resolutions before you tonight. As I just mentioned, the prelim and final plat for Energy Park 8th, this is a lot combination. So the city recently sold TJ Potter 2 parcels, and he is asking that they be adjoined to his current parcel. So he is looking at doing a large expansion. Therefore, this plat application would remove those property lines so he could build into that area instead of across property lines. Just per zoning code, they have to meet setbacks. This would remove those setbacks from those lines. So tonight before you is Resolution 2187 that would approve the preliminary plat for Energy Park 8th Edition, and we are requesting approval of that.
Marie, are you wanting 2186?
It's actually 87. It's
87.
it's mistaken
Backwards.
on the RCA.
Okay.
The actual resolution is 87.
Got it.
If there's no questions, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2187.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And then with that approval, staff is also recommending approval of Resolution 2186 for the final plat.
And I make a motion to approve Resolution 2186.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Any discussion? None, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Supplemental letter agreement with SEH for improvements to 97th Street. Mr. Listen. Oh,
Jeez, it
man.
broke, I tell
That's
ya.
the last
Way
time
to-
we
way
can
to-
bring you up
Way
here
to start
then.
it off.
Start breaking our stuff,
Come back after 2 months and that's what I do. All right.
tell ya.
I'm always good at breaking things. All right, well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight I have before you, we're seeking approval of our supplemental letter agreement from SEH for the 97th Street project. So we're currently working with Becker Township and Clear Lake Township for some street improvements on 97th Street. The project wouldn't actually occur until the year 2023. We do have money in our CIP for that at that time. What we're looking for tonight is to get started on the engineering side of it. So this SLA would actually be for the topographical, the survey work that needs to be done prior to design work by our engineers. So each entity that is working on this project will be responsible for designing their portion of the project. So to stay in front of that, to give SEH the information they need to start the design work, we're asking for motion and second for that resolution 2189, approving their SLA for the 97th Street project. If there's any questions, I can answer those.
Why isn't one engineering firm doing all of the engineering?
It's a good question. I guess my understanding is we have, each entity was responsible for their section, so you would design it and then I think in the end it's gonna be determined by the 3 entities who would then be overseeing the project. I don't know, Bill, do you have any further insight into that?
No, that's pretty much right on that. Each entity that has their own engineers that they work with, and also Peterson is also working with the council as well to investigate.
Man from behind the curtain.
I guess I'll just come up here as well.
Yeah. Come break this microphone too.
That works, I guess.
Just yell louder.
So yes, each entity does have their own engineer that they like to work with. I know the township is actually working with Bogart Peterson on their portion of it, so we're proposing to work with the city of Becker on your portion of the street as well. And then, so yes, this is for the survey portion of it, so then once we move into the design, then we'll be coming back with another SLA for the design portion of it. as well as Bogart Peterson will be.
I guess what I'm getting at is these three entities will, they'll get together so we have one road design rather.
Yeah, so we will be coordinating with, the other engineering firms to be, making
It
sure.
doesn't go
that-
from 38 feet down to 24.
Yep, that way the center line is on too, we don't have a veer in center line or anything either.
Okay.
So, yep.
Thanks, Bill.
With that, then I'm make a motion to approve resolution 2189. Agreement with SEH.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Robin. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
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 Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
All right, administrator and staff reports. Change order number 2 for the 2020 new municipal well field. Mr. Lisson.
Thank you, Mayor. So before you, council, tonight, we have change order number 2 for our well field. As the project was progressing, the contractor asked if the city had the gate, where was the gate, so they could install the gate. And we were a bit confused as a staff because we just thought the gate was part of the project. So a little bit of so we had alternates for the operators for the gates. So that was, okay, if the price comes in good, we can exercise that alternate, but apparently the gate got kind of missed along the way. So when that was discovered, we looked and got a quote from Authority Fence, who did the gate at the wastewater facility. So we've included that in the packet for you guys tonight. So looking at a change order to include the gate, so we can add that to the project. You can see the cost of what the gate was estimated for. There's also a slight deduct for some removal of some foundation waterproofing that was determined was not needed because the water table was lower than the building and it wasn't an occupied space. So a little bit of savings there. And tonight we're looking for a motion and a second to approve change order number 2 for contract B of the 2020 municipal well field project. And I can answer any questions if there are any.
And just for our viewers, we discussed this at the last city council meeting and received multiple updates along the way, so this has been vetted.
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 2 for contract B of the 2020 municipal well field project.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Rick. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Bucket truck replacement, Mr. Lisson.
One more. All right, so on our CIP for our streets department, we look at all our vehicles. We have a lifespan expectancy for those, and then we monitor them throughout their course of their life. Our bucket truck is a 2006 Ford model. It's on our CIP for replacement in 2022. As we were looking at getting prices for that, we were told that chassis are approximately 32 weeks out, so we should probably get in line sooner than later if we're wanting to get it anytime in the near future. So I did include state bid prices both from Boyer Trucks for the chassis itself and then from Aspen Equipment for the outfitting of the vehicle. The quotes did come in under the budgeted amount we had in the CIP of $150,000. The truck itself has had some issues with, it's a diesel, so we use a lot for putting up flags, Christmas lights, so it's quick run stop, quick run stop, quick run stop. So it's not the easiest on the diesel, so this time we're actually proposing a gas engine, so it'll be able to handle that kind of use more efficiently. Yeah, and then we were also able to lock in the 2021 pricing for the outfitting of the truck, so that was a bonus as well. So,
And you did it for under budget.
yes, yep. So tonight I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve resolution 2188 for the purchase of the replacement bucket truck, so the chassis and the outfitting, and allowing the Public Works and Parks Assistant Director to enter into an agreement for those purchases. And I'll answer any questions if there are any.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2188.
I'll second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Any other discussion? With none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Excel Energy proposal for AUAR. Ms. Flipson.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The proposal from Xcel Energy is one where they are leading the consulting team. So this is for the AUAR, or Alternative Urban Area-Wide Review. So this is an environmental document. There's lots of technical work that goes into it. But once it's established, it helps the properties that it includes to be more shovel-ready. So this is a tool for economic development. So Xcel is taking the lead on this, and they would like to include multiple parcels that are owned by the city of Becker. So this agreement is one that simply acknowledges that they're leading the project. It's going to include land from the city of Becker, but there's no budget impact. It is being paid for by Xcel Energy. So the agreement does include just the list of properties on the back. This would be the properties on the south side of the cul-de-sac road out by TJ Potter. So it's there's about kind of a little square cutout of 5 different parcels, including one of them as an outlot. So with that, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, a motion and second to authorize the city administrator to sign the agreement would be appreciated.
Marie, how big are these lots? Like, maybe give a broader description.
The 5 properties together is roughly 35 acres. So if you can kind of imagine the size of TJ Potter's property, it would be his first building, his second building, and the 2 parcels that he combined just recently. So all 4 of those parcels combined into one is roughly the same size as the area we own on the south side of the road. So this would be, you know, it could be up to, that would be about a 250,000 square foot building would probably fit there, possibly a little more, 300,000, based on Potter's project, so it could be a large manufacturing firm, another trucking company. There's a variety of uses that could be placed on that property. So this alternative review studies what could go there and what would be the environmental impacts of it. So if a party that is one of those companies or one of those industries is interested, it helps speed up their approval process for those properties.
Do we own these properties?
Yep, this is
Yes,
the
these are
agreement for
ours.
ours. Yep.
Okay, I'm
Yep.
just thinking way too far in advance of like
Yep.
what.
If nobody has any questions or concerns, I make a motion, we approve the agreement, allow the administrator to assign the agreement with Xcel Energy for the UAR.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second for Robin, to sign the AUAR agreement letter. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
Call for a public hearing for consideration to certify unpaid utility charges. Mr. Ebensteiner.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, in front of you, you have a request for a call for public hearing for consideration to certify unpaid utility charges. Staff has been working on compiling a list of utility accounts that are past due by greater than 60 days. These items will be brought to council at a public hearing for consideration to certify for collection with the 2022 property taxes. Staff has proposed a public hearing at the regular council meeting on November 16th, and notices are being mailed detailing the time and location to those residents. So I'll answer any questions, or a motion and second to call for public hearing on November 16th at approximately 5 p.m. to consider the certification of unpaid charges.
I'll make a motion to call for a public hearing on November 16th, approximately 5 p.m. to consider a certification of unpaid utility charges.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pebble Creek Edition, change orders 6 and 7. Mr. Przinski.
Madam Mayor, City Council, thank you. This was added last minute. My apologies for that. Simply because we are up against end of the construction season. So change order number 6, what we're proposing to do is instead of trying to roof just a portion of the clubhouse, what we would like to do is take and peel off all of the shingles and re-roof this section right here. So remember, simulator is going to be here. We'll be tying into the building here. We'll have to peel back a portion of this. So right now, the way we had scheduled to do the re-roof is we would just tie into those shingles on this front-facing roof line. So the problem with that is, because it is front-facing, I mean, if all of our customers come in, they see that roof line, you will see a clear line where we're tying into that roof. So what we're proposing to do is peel off this entire section, put on new shingles, all the way across this front face.
Most of that's gonna be covered, replaced, taken out anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually, this will come out like another, what, 30 feet? Is that what the plans say?
Yeah, something like that.
But I think the thing that I would point out to you all is if it were on the back side of the building or in a valley that's shaded, we probably wouldn't be doing it this way. But because our customers all come in that front driveway, they can see that. You'll see a clear.
It's the shingles on the west end of the building, right?
Yes, yep, this is the west end. Here's the deck, here's the
Yeah,
west entrance. It's this whole section here.
it's not that big of a section, but.
So hopefully you had a chance to look at the staff briefing. So that's change order number 6. We have a change order in the amount of $3,000, $3,045. And then change order number 7 is concerning our parking lot. Same project, but remember, we are going to be doing our parking lot in 2 separate.
Careful.
All right, so oh, sorry, covered the camera.
Makes the man from behind the curtain come out.
You know a lot tonight.
Yeah. Oh, what's with, staff is just breaking things tonight. What is going on?
All better.
I'm sorry, Tony, I'm new, I don't know what to do.
They should know it's a lot.
Just running through my paces.
We got steps in today.
So I think I'm oriented well here. So remember, parking lot, we'll be doing some bit work on the parking lot. We'll be doing it in 2 stages. One stage this fall yet, and then the wear course in the spring. And the blue lines depict the cut points where we'll be cutting those the parking lot. And what we're proposing to do is taper that for the winter. Here's why. We, number 1, think it's going to be best for snow plowing. And number 2, and probably more importantly, we're thinking that snow plowing is going to probably rip up some of those corners, which will mean we'll have to do some additional bit work in the spring. It's a relatively small cost compared to the project. It's $1,050, I think, is what the change order calls for. So I wanted to get those 2 items in front of City Council this evening, some feedback and action, if you would. Golf Committee, anything to add?
Yeah, no problem with it. I got the information before. I have no problem with it. So unless anybody's got any questions, I guess I'd make a motion to approve that. Is there a number on those?
6 and 7, change order.
Change order 6 and 7 for golf course project?
I'll second.
Motion from Mike, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, consent agenda. Mr. Przezinski.
Madam Mayor, City Council, Please take note, we do have a revised consent agenda this evening, rather long as well. Item number 1 is a hiring and termination report from the BCC, Public Works, and our Pebble Creek Golf Club. Item number 2, declaring property surplus and ordering its disposal. Item number 3 is change order number 3 for the 2020 well-filled project, specifically gate valve extension rods. Item number 4 is slight change to the solar project at the wastewater plant. Item number 5, water tower number 3, upper interior inspection. Item number 6, purchase of thermal imaging equipment for our PD. Item number 7 is a joint powers agreement with Sourcewell. Remember, that's for group employee benefits. Item number 8, 2022 health insurance contributions and coverage options. That's a resolution 2190. That details our health insurance contributions and plan options. Item number 9 is a partial pay request. This is for the 2021 bituminous street improvements. This partial pay request in the amount of $1,267,825.12. Item number 10 is a partial pay request for the simulator project. That pay request is in the amount of $53,810.85. Item number 11 is a partial pay request for Northdale Construction, and that's well 7 transmission water main. This partial pay request in the amount of $928,947.96. And item number 12, which is the revision, is reestablishment of a 12-foot drainage and utility easement in Autumn Ridge, and that's through resolution 2191. So if you have questions, which you may very well have, I will try to address those questions. Otherwise, a motion to approve the consent agenda for November 3rd would be appreciated.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
Motion from Rick, second from Robin. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anniversaries for the month of November, we have 2. Jason Scharfenkamp, our golf course superintendent, is celebrating 6 years with us. And Chris Lisson, our public works and park assistant director. That is quite
That's a long title.
Public works and park assistance director.
To the assistant, to the assistant. That was good.
Yeah. Well, he's celebrating 6 years with us, so congratulations to those folks. Does Becker have anything else for the betterment? Or does council have anything else for the betterment of
thing.
Becker?
I'd like to congratulate the school board on a successful campaign to get their bond issue passed.
Yes.
Sure.
Hearing nothing, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Those in favor can state aye.
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 Opposed, we are adjourned 5:39 PM.